Lisa, I was here with Third Movement. I want to bring a quick video. I wanna. It's not a teaching video, but it's just I got a word from God while I was in my studying time, and I was studying in Matthew chapter. I was studying in Matthew chapter 6 and chapter 7, and God began to speaking with me because at times our faith can be, we can think we have a lot of faith and we can think that, what we're going through is going to build our faith. But a lot of times we don't focus on the fact that it's about trusting God. Sometimes it's about saying, you know what, Lord, no matter what I go through, I'm going to trust you. The word of God says that, the lilies in the field, they don't worry about whether they're going to twirl or spin around or whatever. If a son asks his father for bread, his dad gonna give him bread. He's saying, God, what he's saying is, I'm gonna take care of you. Stop worrying about me taking care of you and let me take care of you. Sometimes we can have our guards up and we won't allow God to take care of us. Sometimes we won't allow God to do what he says he's gonna do because we're trying to do it ourselves. Sometimes we have to step back and trust God and make it that simple. Because at the end of the day, it's a trust issue. It's whether do we have faith or not in God, to complete his word. We always say he may not come when we want. He may not come when we want him, but he's on time. But for him to have that, statement, that means we have to trust him. We have to trust him to be on time. We have to trust him to say, okay, you're God and I'm not. We have to trust him to say, you know what, Lord, I give it all to you. We have to trust him in that moment. He said, if you knock, in Matthew 7, chapter 7, he said, if you knock, the doors will be open. If you ask, I will give. Doesn't mean when you ask, he's going to give it right away, but he's going to give, and we have to trust that. We have to trust that he's going to give. We got to trust when we knock that he's going to open the doors that we need to open up for us. But a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this, we don't trust God. So when it comes down at the end of the day, we need to trust God. No matter what's going on in our life, no matter what we're facing. Some of us are in a bad economy right now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it feels like the worse the worse you're doing, the worse the worse you're doing, the better it gets, or the worse it gets. The better, you know what I mean? It's like when you're doing bad, it get worse. Wow, my mouth wasn't moving correctly just then. But we have to trust God that it's gonna get better. We're living in the last days, and the last day it does prophesy hard times. It does, but doesn't mean that it's gonna stay there. Doesn't mean that that's what it's always gonna be. We gotta trust God to know that it's not gonna be like that always. We gotta trust God above all. Listen, I've did this. I've not trusted God. Matter of fact, I was studying just now, trying to look for a word of God, and he gave me this because I believe this is what I need. But also, I believe this is what you need. When the 3 Hebrew boys, they was facing the fire, they had a word from God. They had a word for God that we shall not bow down to no other God but him, and we shall trust him. They trust him all the way to the fire. I'm not talking about, they looked at the fire. They went in the fire. We can get caught up, making fun of the names, but the story is powerful in itself. These are heroes of the faith who trust God no matter what. Some of us may be like Abraham, who tries to go on and do it on our own. But when we do it on our own, we just cause more havoc. The whole thing is we need to release and trust God. We need to let go. that song says, let go and let God. That's what we need to do. You know, and understand that, you know, even if the situation seems bad, let's try to find gratitude in the situation. Let's try to find thankfulness for the situation. You know, you may be in a situation where somebody's helping you, and the person, you know, you may not want that person to help you, or you may not know that person that's helping you, and you being a person that's really, you know, that's just really horrible. Try to find gratitude in the situation. Try to be better in the situation. That's all I had to say. Really, we got to trust God. We really have to trust God. Galatians 1, third movement. I'm out.